Hello and welcome to the I Can Do podcast with Benjamin Lee. We're here to talk about tips and strategies to have an I Can Do mindset. Life is what you put into it. Get the most you can. Here's your host, Benjamin Lee.
Hello and welcome to I Can Do podcast with Benjamin Lee. Yes, I am Benjamin Lee. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are in season number 6. This is episode number 1. Lord willing, I'm going to do something a little bit different this season. Now, it's been about 4 weeks since my last new podcast episode, so I hope you are doing well. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you're getting ready for 2022. We have already gone through Halloween, Thanksgiving, and soon Christmas will be here. Now listen, you still have time to send my gift, okay? All right. No, seriously though, you do have time to send my gift. You can send it to me via email, all right? All right, let me move forward with that. I do want to say this. During this time of the year, it can be really hard to stay focused with health and wellness and fitness and sleep and getting our exercise in. A lot of people are also thinking about the new year, maybe losing 5, 10, or 20 pounds, maybe a little bit more, maybe lowering their blood pressure or cholesterol numbers or A1Cs, or maybe just getting ready for a 5K in February or March or a 10K or increasing their bench press by 20 pounds. Well, wherever you may be with your fitness and health goals, I hope and I believe that this season of this podcast will help you. I have a book that I created. It is published on Amazon.com. You can find it there. It's called Life Beyond the Scale. And for this season, what I want to do, I want to read the book to you. I want to read the book and I want to share some of the thoughts that I have in this book with different experiences that I have gone through when it comes to mindset, weight loss, how to view the scale, how to measure things in a better way than just whether or not our number on the scale is going up or down. And so I want to share this book with you. So I guess technically you don't even have to buy the book because I'm going to read the book to you. And we're going to break this up over a number of episodes. So for today, you're going to hear the introduction of Life Beyond the Scale. There's also another reason why I'm doing this. I have a cohort, the I Can Do cohort. We are just wrapping up our first one here. Wednesday is actually going to be day 52, where we had a nice group of people who were arising and building things that needed to be built in their lives. And beginning January 1st, the second cohort is going to begin. Now, this second group that I'm creating, it's going to be all about improving our health, our fitness, along with our faith, hopefully growing in our faith in our walk with Jesus Christ. And so this book is in alignment with what this group is going to be about. And it could be that you're looking to be a part of a group where you can grow and improve in your fitness and even draw closer to God. Well, this cohort will be for you then. And you can find details about it in the show notes. And so with the cohort coming up, with the new year coming up, with so many people wanting to focus more about improving and moving forward, I thought this would be something cool that we could do together. So I'm going to read to you today the introduction to my book, Life Beyond the Scale. Here we go. It has no emotions, but it can control yours. It has no voice, but it can control how you speak to yourself. It has no eyes, but can make you feel like it's looking inside your soul. It's always available to give you some attention, but it should rarely be paid attention to. You can stand on it with all your might, but it will often make you feel really weak. Do you know what I'm referring to? I'm talking about the dreaded scale. It's incredible how this small device can have so much control over us. Depending on what the 3 digits are, they can make a grown person cry. Have you ever struggled with the scale? Do you find yourself constantly drawn to it? Do you see yourself scared to get on it? Do you feel like you always need to know how much you weigh? Are you a scale-oholic, as one of my friends described herself? Well, if that's you, then it's time to go beyond the scale. For me, the scale has brought about a lot of stress. In fact, in 2016, I had 2 scales in my bedroom. My wife never used either of them. Think about that. They were both for me. I know, that sounds crazy, right? Well, it was. I had become so paranoid about where my weight was, and I wanted to be sure I had an accurate reading. I was measuring my success in the wrong way, as so many people often do. That's because, as a society, we've been conditioned to focus solely on the scale. You watch television shows that deal with weight loss, and you will see that it's all about the scale. From the time we are born, we are put on the scale. While our childhood eventually comes to an end, our connection with the scale does not. It's time for us to lay aside the scale. It's time to start living beyond the scale. I've heard a lot of people talk about their relationship with their scale. Some people, I think, spend more time on their scale than they do in the gym. I've heard things like, I weigh myself 4 times a day. I weigh myself twice a week. I have even heard people use profanity when talking about the scale. Wow. Please don't do that. A small little device can really do a number, though, on our psyche. So what about you? Are you ready to go beyond the scale? Let's go. What I hope to accomplish with this book is to help you to break the vicious cycle of measuring your self-worth and accomplishments based upon what a stupid scale says to you. You are not a 3-digit number. Don't let a number define who you are. It is not about the scale. While many people are seeking validation from the scale, what we need to be more concerned about is really living and finding self-worth in the fact that we are made in the image of God. So let's do this. Let's make an agreement. Don't get on the scale again until you have finished this book and the journal at the end. Don't skip ahead and look either. Now, I'm reading this to you, so listen to all of the podcasts before you get back on the scale. Breathe now, please. I promise it will be okay if you don't weigh yourself for a few days, all right? Relax. It will be more than a few days, more like a month or so, or at least maybe a couple of weeks. It will not take too long to read this. However, the journal at the end is where you may have the biggest challenge, but it will be worth it. As my friend Matt Bassford once said, some things are worth struggling through. I believe that when you are finished with this book, you will see it is not about the scale. You will have changed your mindset, which will allow you to lay aside the scale. Now, there are some critical thoughts that I believe will help you to accomplish this. Number 1, we need to know why we should lay aside the scale. Number 2, we need to understand what it is that keeps us shackled to the scale. And number 3, what it will require for us to truly go beyond the scale. So, are you ready? Again, don't get on it until we are finished with the entire book. Now, if you want to, go ahead and throw away your scale or your scales if you have more than one. And if that sentence or that statement has given you pause and produced fear in your heart, then you really need to do it. Now, someone may be thinking, well, who are you, Benjamin Lee, to tell me what to do? I'm certainly not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you some recommendations. But sometimes people may ask, why should I listen to you? That's a great question. I've had my struggles with my weight in the past. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, but I did major in kinesiology at the University of Illinois. I am a life coach. I have done some personal training. I have taught spin classes in the past. Certainly, you should always consult with a physician before beginning anything. Full disclosure, I'm not liable, all right, for the decisions you ultimately have to make. You need to really make sure you talk to a physician or others before starting anything. But maybe more importantly, when it comes to why should you listen to me or at least take some time to consider some of the things that I'm saying, what I have life experience. I know about the struggles of body image, overeating, and I know from experience how to lay aside the scale once and for all. And full disclosure, it is a lifelong challenge. There are times where I've lost weight. There are times where I've gained weight. It's a daily challenge. I do believe I have a talent of being able to motivate others. And hopefully you will feel motivated to do more after reading this and to live life beyond the scale. So for me, this book really began in 2016 when I started my physical transformation. Many of the ideas I will share with you were presented in two speeches I gave in March and April of 2017 at a fitness camp in Golden, Colorado with Bill Phillips, the author of Body for Life. I'm thankful for those opportunities I had during that time, and I'm hoping this book will be able to help you and others. There will be some tips about what it takes to make a physical transformation, but there's also a spiritual component in this book. As a Christian, I'm proud of my faith. I think this element is often neglected when dealing with physical issues. So allow me to share my story with you as we prepare to live life beyond the scale. Thank you so much for tuning in to the introduction of Life Beyond the Scale. Tune in to our next episode tomorrow for Chapter 1. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. If you are in the need or are looking for more motivation in your life, feel free to check out my website, benjaminlee.blog, where you can find hundreds of encouraging, motivational blog posts on a variety of subjects. You can find all of my books, which can also be found on Amazon.com, and other podcast interviews with a variety of people. I hope this helps. Please leave me a rating and a review. I can do, and so can you. Take care, and God bless.